Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be a redo of the July movie preview. It is 2018. What the fuck are you doing, Tony?
I'm just trying to make art right here, but go on.
I didn't know I was being filmed. I wasn't prepared for this. I did nothing wrong. No, there's no allegations against me. Everything is fine. I did not send a link into a chat this time at all. You have nothing to worry about. Yeah, Jackson, you can put your recording devices down. I did not consent to this. This is not consensual recording right here.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, the government wanted me, Double Nine, and Jackson to monitor Kevin during this preview in case there's something shady. So yeah, Kevin, we're watching you, but go ahead, continue.
This is non-consensual recording, but either way, I feel really weird, and I would really appreciate if Jackson puts that down.
Kevin, a couple seconds ago, you said you didn't do anything wrong. Is that true?
Yes, I didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong?
Yes, I didn't do anything wrong.
Ron? Is that how you pronounce words, Kevin? Ron? What's the difference? And say it for the camera. What's the difference between Ron and wrong?
Intro. Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be for this installment of the movie preview. And once again, guys, this of course is for July. We are very much into the thick of things in terms of the summer movie season. But with me once again, we are doing, like I said, a redo of what we did last year, because last year's July movie preview was so disastrous in the way it was. I decided that, you know, just to be fair to these guys right here, we had to redo it. We had to redo it this year, and thankfully we have them both here. We got the two July birthday boys right here, starting off with someone that I really don't like. I don't know why I keep adding him, but either way, he's here. He loves to mute me. He loves to make fun of me. He just loves to just meme me up, and here he is, Fulcher.
Quick question, Kevin. Is that July movie preview from last year still available for the people to see?
Yes, it is.
Take it down now.
It is. I mean, it is because I save all of my work. I want
take it down. No one should see it. Stop.
Well,
too bad. Bitch. It's literally the worst thing ever, but I'm glad I'm here to hopefully get it right this time.
Hey, Jackson, to quote Al Pacino and Jack and Jill.
Oh, God, no. Before you do that, let me get to my other guest here who's about to annoy the shit out of me. Here he is, 22TigerDude.
Hey, I don't always annoy you, but yeah.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
Oh, true. Okay, well, first off, Dunkachino. Okay, I think
what's my name?
Dunkachino. But yes, with that being said, thank you, Kevin, for bringing me on. I know you know, last year was something for sure, but you know, this is my third.
That is an understatement. It was a fucking disaster.
But this is my third time in a row, like 3 years in a row of me being on here for July, my birthday month, as you just said. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And yeah, I definitely hope it makes up for what happened last year. So thank you for bringing me on, sir. So
what you're saying is I should definitely not have you on.
Oh my God, be quiet, Jared.
But
oh hell yeah.
And then he's not going to be here for the entire movie preview, and I know you guys are sick of him, but here just for the first movie because he insisted that he you know, join. I did not tell him to join. He's like, Kevin, you need to bring me on. So I got his ass here. Here he is once again to annoy all of you, Film Fan 0599.
It's your favorite human being in the entire world, Kevin's viewers.
Yes.
Anyways, but no, I am here only for one movie and one movie only.
I'd be surprised if we're not boycotting this show at this point, just because you're always on.
Well, I'm here for the movie, in my humble opinion, that matters the most this month, and that's the first movie we're about to talk about.
Apparently, it's the only movie that matters this month. Literally, I talked to him about this month, and he's like, "Oh, Spider-Man's gonna save us all." I'm like, "Dude, there's other movies coming out."
I'm like,
but either way,
Spider-Man.
Before we get into July, before we get into Spider-Man and things like that, I will say right now, July looks like a really promising month for the most part. June was really rocky. There really were not too many films out that I enjoyed very much at all. So July seems like it's going to be the month that hopefully saves this summer. There's a lot of stuff I'm very excited for that is coming out this month. There is some stuff that admittedly doesn't look that great, but there definitely is more things I'm looking forward to this month than really in June and things like that. So we're just getting into right now. And as Double Nine already alluded to, I love the fact that you're already spoiling things. Our first film to talk about.
You mean like you, Kevin?
Oh, snap. Oh.
I didn't spoil shit, okay? But either way, we're going to get into right now. Coming out this Tuesday, July 2nd, of course, is the highly anticipated Spider-Man Far From Home.
Heads up, Nick Fury's calling you.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
What up, dorks? What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo.
Oh, I think MJ really likes me.
Reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man. This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world?
Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
Spider-Man Far From Home overall. I am obviously very excited for this film, especially coming off the heels of Endgame. There are a lot of places that this film can really go, but there also is a lot riding on it for sure, because this really is the film that is going to kind of be a preview of like what the MCU is going to be moving forward. Now that Tony's not there anymore and things like that, there is definitely a lot of places they can go with that for sure. And considering the connection that him and Peter had, that's something I'm very excited, but I'm also saddened to get into. I think there's going to be some real heartbreaking stuff there. And I'm interested in seeing really how they handle that for sure, but also seeing how they handle the decimation, because it seems like most of these characters have in fact been dusted. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that really does turn out, how they are able to recover and things like that. So much time lost in their life, but to them, it didn't even really feel like that much. There's a lot you can do with that as well. And then, of course, the thing we're all looking forward to, just factoring in Mysterio and the Elementals and the whole concept of the multiverse. I mean, that just opens up a whole web, and yes, pun absolutely intended, of possibility. Or I think there's definitely a lot of stuff they can do there. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to kill it in this role. I cannot wait to see what he's going to do as Mysterio here. And then factoring in Nick Fury and Maria Hill. I mean, this is just everything that I think we've wanted to see in a Spider-Man film. Homecoming was a great introduction, but this seems like the film where they really are pulling out everything that they possibly can. Every single thing that you want to see in a Spider-Man film, you're going to see here. You're going to see some great comedy. You're going to see the budding romance between him and MJ, which I'm excited in getting into. You're going to see him recover from, the events of Endgame and the decimation and things like that. You're going to get to see the multiverse. I mean, there's so many places they can go with this film, and it's easily one I'm most anticipated of the entire month and of the entire summer for sure, and definitely one that I am just, the closer we get to, similar to like Toy Story 4 last month, the closer we get to it, the more I am just anxiously awaiting for this film to come out. So absolutely hyped for this one. But we're not going to turn to Jackson or Tony next just because he's only here for this film. And I know he said he has to get going soon. I'm just going to turn to him now. So Double Nine, I know you have a lot to say about this one. So just go ahead.
Oh boy. So
yeah, go on for more than 10 to 15 minutes. We're running a tight schedule here, but go ahead.
All right. Anyways, but
what are you doing? Like writing things down?
Yes. Spider-Man Far From Home. Yes, without question, is my most anticipated movie of this month. I'm very excited about this. I am glad that Spider-Man is the first character that we see after the events of Endgame, to be honest. I feel like he is the character we need to focus on first after the events, because I feel like he is the most important, essential character out of everybody right now, to be honest with you. And we're going to see that in this movie, and that's what I'm excited about, because what I'm excited about is like everyone keeps on telling him, oh, you got to be the next Iron Man. You got to be the next Iron Man. And I just cannot wait for the moment where they're like, you don't need to be the next Iron Man. You need to be the first Spider-Man. I'm excited for that moment.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be badass.
Dude, I'm ready for this. This seems like, because I loved Homecoming. I thought Homecoming was great, but this is everything I feel like a sequel should be. And from what I am hearing, it sounds like exactly what we're going to get, and I cannot wait. There's so many elements here, like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I'm finally glad we are seeing Mysterio in a live-action Spider-Man property. I cannot wait to see how that is executed, and the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal is playing him is an extra bonus.
Hell yeah.
Inclusion of Nick Fury, Maria Hill. Like, I cannot wait to see how this is going to be handled. Like, everything I've seen from this movie just looks absolutely fantastic, and I just need this movie in my life already. I need it. Like, seriously, like, this seems like another great entry into the GOAT of all superheroes, and I cannot wait.
All right, so I know that's really all you have to say, Double Nine. So I guess you can just get going now. Say your.
Well, everybody, thank you for having me on for this one movie and this one movie only. I hope you're not sick of seeing my face, which I'm probably thinking you are by now. But anywho, as far as to my knowledge, I won't be on the next movie preview. So who knows? Maybe Kevin might have to fill me in for a last man spot like the past couple times. But we'll see what happens.
Past like every month.
Yes, but we'll see. Anywho, Jackson, Tony, you two have a good night, and Kevin. Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Good night.
All right. So now that dumbass is out of the way, we'll get into the real co-host here. We're going to turn to Jackson here. Jackson, your thoughts on Far From Home?
Okay. Well, I wanted to correct you about something earlier. You said Tony's gone, but Tony's right here.
Yeah, right. Like what the fuck, Kevin?
I meant Iron Man. Blind or something. Maybe you just didn't see it. But that's besides the point. There's as far as the MCU goes, the next two that I'm definitely the most excited to see as far as how they continue it are Guardians Volume 3, and especially this, because Peter Parker looks up to Tony a lot. Now he's gone and people are putting pressure on him, like, are you going to step up or not? Like, you can do a lot of interesting stuff with that, and you're introducing this whole new crazy element of the MCU that should impact it, like, very much so, like, in a very interesting way. I'm hearing a ton about how there's many twists and turns, so it'll be very interesting to see where they go with that, because at the moment I'm not really sure what they could possibly do, because I like Homecoming a lot, obviously, but I wouldn't say it's like actually it is one of my favorite MCU films. It's not like top 5 or anything, but it's one of the ones the most.
It's like just there for me.
Yeah, so the fact that now they're making a sequel, and usually in a Spider-Man film they try to make it about the same, just with a new villain and with a new character conflict. But with this, the fact that they're kind of stepping it up, like we're going to Europe, and there's like there's just a bunch of twists that you can't spoil. Like, that has me excited, because we haven't really seen that in a Spider-Man film before. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think John Watts, I liked his indie film Cop Car, and I liked his transition to superhero film with Homecoming, but it looks like he's really stepping up again with this one, which is very exciting to see, because I like him as a director. I think I'd be anticipating it a little bit more if Kevin didn't spoil something, but other than that, I can't wait to see this film. Back to you, Tony.
All right, Tony.
Thank you, Jackson. Thank you. I'm very excited for this film. I'm with you, gentlemen, on that. I really can't wait for it. And especially, seeing where Endgame ended, and unfortunately, it's a spoiler at this point, but Tony Stark dies, and the fact that this is the aftermath of Spider-Man Far From Home, the aftermath, of Avengers Endgame. It's like what you said, Kevin. It's going to be definitely very, very sad for sure, because of how close Peter Parker was with Tony Stark. But it'll also be nice to see Tony's death being sort of like a motivation, like motivating him to really step up and become Spider-Man. So I think that's a really great way to really push the character and make his arc possibly more interesting than it already was. And obviously the acting looks great. Like Tom Holland, he already looks like he's going to do a great job as Spider-Man. It's really no surprise to say that. And then obviously Zendaya, she's definitely going to have a much bigger role here because of the ending of Homecoming, confirming that she's MJ. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously Jake Gyllenhaal is Mysterio. I've wanted to see Mysterio for a long time in the movie, ever since I played the PS1 Spider-Man video game. I've always wished to have seen Mysterio on screen, and crazy to think that pretty much almost 20 years later, that dream has come true, and he already looks like from the marketing he's going to do great. And obviously, Nick Fury being in here too is going to be interesting. There's just a lot of things, as you guys have already said, that I don't really want to repeat, but there's like so many things they can do with this movie. And honestly, I don't know where they're going to go with this movie, which makes this even more exciting. I just hope it's very exciting. I hope there's some nice emotional moments along with there. And I just hope it serves as a very worthy aftermath of Avengers Endgame. So yeah, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, lots of possibilities for sure. But of course, if you guys are excited for Spider-Man Far From Home, it does come out this Tuesday, July 2nd. I know probably everyone's going to see it, so definitely look forward to it then. But we do have another movie also coming out that day, one that is, it's pretty small. I don't think many people have heard about, especially Jackson here. He's always stuck with a bunch of films that he's never heard of, and this film is definitely one of them. I know he doesn't even know what this is. Like, I know he doesn't really have any interest in it, but go ahead anyway.
Usually when I introduce movies, I'm goofy, I meme it up because I hate Kevin. However, fuck you, Kevin. I know a ton about this movie. Midsummer.
How long have you two been together?
Just over 3.5 years.
4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's like another world.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Is it scary?
What is it?
It has special properties. What am I going through?
We just need to acclimate.
I don't want to acclimate. I want to go.
Absolutely not.
What's happening?
So Midsummer is a new film from one of my favorite directors who's only made one film, feature film, I should say. Ari Aster made my favorite film of last year, Hereditary, and a bunch of great short films. And this film, he's tackling pagan cults, and he has the queen from Fighting with My Family, Florence Pugh, who I hear is amazing in this, which is fantastic. I can't wait to see this film because just from the trailers, it looks very artistically crafted as far as the color grading and the set design and the costume design. I'm sounding like a pretentious asshole, but I mean it. I'm actually excited about many of these things.
I didn't know Nicholas Winding Refn was in. I didn't know Nicholas Winding Refn was on my movie preview, but here he is.
It looks there's a couple shots that look very disturbed, and the fact that this movie's like 4 hours and 56 minutes long is super exciting for me, because I want to see how everything ties together, how much story is in there. If Ari Aster is able to maintain everyone's attention, because Hereditary is a long movie, but this is longer. So I'm really hoping that his masterful storytelling and filmmaking can have everyone latched on. And I think we might see that, because everyone has been kind of claiming that this is like a very mesmerizing, different, very weird, but interesting horror film, and I'm super pumped. I really am hoping that this can maybe top Hereditary or be like my favorite film of the year, but we'll have to wait and see on that one, because you never really know with these things. I thought, like, for example, I thought Men in Black was going to be fun, and then never mind. But I'm just really hoping that Midsummer is not Men in Black, and since it's made by A24, sorry, Assholes 24/7, and not Sony, gives me some hope. So I'm super fucking pumped for Midsummer. And as soon, I should see Spider-Man first, because that more people are going to see that, and I don't want to be spoiled. But the day after, you bet your ass that I'm seeing Midsummer, probably by myself, but that's okay. Fuck
Yeah, I'm doing a double feature. But speaking of it, the A24, the studio behind Jackson's favorite film of the year, High Life. But either way, so in the case of Midsummer, I am obviously hyped for this film. Similar to Jackson, Hereditary is probably my favorite horror film of the decade. I think it's just such a uniquely crafted and just dark, but also deeply relatable film. And there's so much I just adore about it. Toni Collette's performance coupled with the other amazing performance that we got. I mean, there's just so much to love about the film. I could go on and on about, but I feel like I've gone on enough. What I really love about this film, though, in particular, is that it seems like Ari Aster is doing the complete opposite of what he did in Hereditary. While Hereditary was this dark and dreary film and things like that, Midsummer, on the other hand, is a horror film, but it's all bright color palettes and like overly saturated like lighting and things like that. So it's the complete opposite. I'm also hearing there's surprisingly a lot of humor in this as well, which is genuinely shocking. But I'm really excited to see what Ari Aster brings to this. I think this is going to be something really different. And I hope that this isn't a case where, he's one of those directors that has a great first film and then the other films do fall flat. What I'm hearing, though, I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I think this is going to be a really great film. I think it has a lot of potential for sure. Florence Pugh is an actress that I really have taken a huge interest in as of late. I really liked her I really loved her in Finding My Family, honestly, and I'm excited to see what she does here for sure. The rest of the cast, I think, is pretty great. And just in general, I'm very excited to see how this film does turn out. It has a lot of potential for sure. It's definitely one of the most anticipated of the summer. There's a lot of movies coming out this month that's like most anticipated this summer for me, and this is one of them. And similar to Jackson, while I definitely am going to see Spider-Man first, this one I am looking forward to slightly more than that one. But either way, I'm so incredibly excited for it. There's so many places they can go with it, and I cannot wait to see what Ari Aster brings to the table here. But Tony, even though I'm scared to hear your thoughts.
Alrighty, so I was not looking forward to this movie, but then I saw the second trailer. Well, I should say the first official trailer, actually. And after finally watching it, I have to say, Kevin, you'll be happy to know, actually, that I'm still not looking forward to this movie.
Tony, I'm so sorry, but I gotta whoop your ass.
You know what, Jackson? I will happily take that ass beating after this movie preview. Okay. But yeah, starting off with Ari Aster, though, yeah, I love Hereditary. Like, this is coming from someone that was super impressed with his directorial debut. Yeah, I thought Hereditary was a great film. Even though it's a great horror film, to be honest, I love it more as a family drama. I think it's better as a family drama, in my opinion, at least. Yeah. And I just thought there was a lot of things that Ari Aster did creatively that was just like, wow, it really stuck with me. And, Midsummer, it definitely has that Ari Aster stamp. No question it does. But I don't know, the marketing, I just haven't been feeling it, to be honest. Like, obviously, the cinematography is beautiful. Like what Jackson said, the color grading is really beautiful. It's kind of mesmerizing. And obviously, the costume design is very impressive. But the characters just don't look like they're going to be very memorable to me. Like, the performances, obviously, from like Will Poulter or Florence Pugh, they look like they'll be great, but the characters just don't really look like they're going to really stick out for me, to be honest. And I hope, when I see the movie, that'll be a completely different story. But just from a marketing standpoint, I'm not really very interested in the characters. I know there's movies that could be good weird and bad weird, but this falls more into the not so good weird for me. Like, a lot of the weird imagery, it's just not very appealing for me. And, that's just the best way to describe it. Like, it definitely looks beautiful on a filmmaking standpoint, but as far as like storytelling and even the characters, it's just not really grabbing me. And it's unfortunate because, like I said, I love Hereditary, but I'm just not buying this. But, hopefully it could surprise me. Hopefully I'll like it. And that's what I'll say from there.
All right, fair enough. But if you guys are looking forward to Midsummer, of course, it does come out on July 3rd. I'm sure very much looking forward to this one. But now we get to a film that I don't really think anyone really cares about. This one, I don't think no one really has much to say about this one. But Tony, we're going to come back to you for this just amazing film we're going to talk about.
I just want to say very quick, I love how when I was talking about my thoughts of Midsummer, you're just like going, and after done, you're all like, okay, fair point. Anyways.
Okay, fair point. Anyways, let's go.
But yes, the next film, my first introduction to a film.
I didn't want to cause any shenanigans.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, the film I'm going to be introducing is Phil of the Future. Phil
of the Future.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking for a report on the death of Michael Fisk.
Your name?
My name is Spiros.
Spiros
Papalapadopoulou.
Spiros? From Greece?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Who are you?
This is Michael's friend.
Spiros.
So, I begin. Spitting image.
Spitting image.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Ευχαριστώ. Πάρα πολύ. You look like a sheep herder. I can explain.
How are you? How are you holding up?
There's so much to do here.
On top of everything, I've got to find someone to finish the bathroom.
Perhaps I help. I start tomorrow. Opa!
Opa.
Don't say opa.
Yeah, so Phil is Greg Kinnear is directing this one, and I don't know if he's directed the film or not, but I do think that's pretty cool that he's directing this. And obviously, I like Greg Kinnear as well as some of the other people in the cast. And you know, the idea of this dentist that's in his midlife crisis, and you know, one of his patients who seemed to be so happy just suddenly committed suicide. Like, I think it's a very interesting idea, and I know, and based on the trailer, it looks like it's going to be more in the form of like a dark comedy. That's from what I'm getting. But I think it looks pretty interesting, to be honest. Like, I don't know how the actual movie will turn out, but I'll say from the trailer, from a movie that I haven't really heard about at all until this movie preview, I think it looks kind of interesting, to be honest. But, you know, like what Kevin said, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. But yeah, I'll say that I'm on board for this movie.
All right, yeah, me personally, I think this movie looks fantastic. You know, just I'm really excited for this film. You know, I think that Phil's going to be an Oscar-worthy film. Greg Kinnear's finally going to get it for Best Director. But now I'm going to pass it off to Jackson. Wow, that's some very high praise, Kevin. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, Kevin, wow.
Yeah, well, you know, I like to surprise people. You sure do. Anyways, let's go on to me, I guess. Yeah, Kevin showed me this trailer, and I was like, oh, what's this trailer? Let's see what this trailer is. No, we already heard your opinion on Phil, Kevin. Anyways, yeah, he showed me this trailer, and I was like, okay, let's see what's in store. And then I was like, that seems like maybe it could be an interesting little movie. And this was like 3 days ago, and I already forgot about it. Don't have much else to say. I mean, maybe it's just one of those things. Maybe it's just one of those trailers that I forget about, but the movie turns out good, I'm sure. But since I'm struggling to recall anything, I'm just going to pass it off to the next topic. Let's talk about Stuber, everyone. Because Kevin already talked about it. Kevin, we already talked about it. Kevin, you already talked about it.
Hello.
Kevin, you already talked about it. You can listen to it back. You said some really interesting things about it.
I didn't say shit!
Okay, and you especially didn't do it with your mouth directly on the camera, so we can just move on to Stuber.
So, Phil, yeah, similar to what Jackson said, I really don't have many thoughts on this one at all. It's a trailer that I watched and I just kind of forgot about. I remember it looking really melodramatic and just really just not anything I really would want to seek out, but see it, I guess. Phil, if you're looking forward to it, it comes out on July 5th. I don't really hear many people talking about this movie. So, yeah, but those are all the movies coming out the first week of July. Far From Home, Midsummer, and Phil. So definitely I'll look forward to that. Now we get into July 12th, which out of all the weeks in July, this definitely looks like the least eventful. But there still are some movies I'm looking forward to, starting off with this first one, and that is Stuber.
Stu, what's going on?
I've been taking this cop around, and we're on like cop missions.
Where are you? I want you to come over. I really need you.
3 red roses. Girl is thirsty.
Right, so Stuber overall, I think this looks like a lot of fun. I know that some people, you know, they see a comedy in the summer, and there's definitely some skepticism there, but I think this looks like a lot of fun for sure. Just pairing up Kumail Nanjiani and Dave Bautista, two actors who I really do adore for different reasons, obviously, but right off the bat, their two styles of comedy look like they're going to work very well here. I saw the trailer again today when I watched yesterday, and it's just such a enjoyable, it looks like such a fun and enjoyable film for sure. I like the way that Dave Bautista's like kind of toughening up Kumail Nanjiani, because he's kind of just like a pushover and things like that, and he's just kind of like the nice guy, and I'm excited to see the rapport between those two. It seems like they work well together, and as someone who actually has gotten a lot of, you know, Uber rides and things like that, this seems like this film is going to be very accurate with that stuff. It seems like it's going to do some really fun stuff for those who have either been an Uber ride or been an Uber driver. I think definitely there's a lot of fun stuff they can do there. My only fear, and I don't think this is going to be one, I just hope that this is not a movie that's made just to like promote Uber or something. But from the trailer, it doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like this is going to be a really fun film. It seems like these two are going to work well together. And overall, I am excited. I think this actually looks like a lot of fun. But now you can speak, Jackson.
Wow, I didn't know that this was hitting very personally for you. You know, I didn't know you also went on an action adventure with your Uber driver. So that's very interesting to say. I was not expecting that. Legit was not expecting that.
Well, so, obviously not that part, but
anyways, what I'm trying to get at here is yes. And I watched the trailer. I didn't know much about. I only first saw the trailer like a month ago. Or a couple weeks ago, honestly, it might have been less. And I was like, oh, it's this trailer. I haven't seen it yet, but I've been aware that it exists. And I watched and I was like, this has the potential to be good and fun, because Dave Bautista's a really fun guy and Kumail Nanjiani's a really funny dude. And Karen Gillan is in it, which is cool. And the guy from The Raid is in it as a villain. So it's like, oh my God. Okay, Jesus.
Learn the names.
Okay, the guy from The Raid Uways is in it.
Yes.
And that
Kevin, go get a cookie.
So that should be really,
I will.
So that should
I'll be back.
So that should be a good sign for fun, intense action sequences. I'm really hoping that this, I believe it's actually, I forget what Central Intelligence was rated, and I don't know what Stuber's rated, but I hope Stuber, I guess, isn't like too goofy, if you know, like I can understand like being goofy like a little bit, but I'd like more if they had a proper balance of like dark comedy and violence and some lighter stuff. Because Central Intelligence, I thought that was a decent movie, but that's more goofy, and not really much of anything else they could have gotten out of it. So I hope this is a better film than that, pretty much. But yeah, it's got potential, and I for someone who was avoiding the trailer for really no reason other than I just hadn't had the nerve to watch it, when I finally did forcefully in theaters, that's called rape. I actually had a fun time with the trailer, so I hope it leads to a good movie.
What's worse, forcefully seeing a trailer in theaters, or when you were forcibly removed from a Buffalo Wild Wings?
When I was forcibly being shown trailers by you.
Oh, okay.
All right. Oh shoot! I thought I was gonna die there. All right. So yeah, Stuber. This is one of those movies that's coming out my birthday weekend, the day before my birthday, and I can't really complain about it because I agree. It looks like a very fun movie. It looks like a very funny movie too, and I didn't think I ever needed Kumail Nanjiani and Dave Bautista in a buddy cop movie together. Well, not cop, but you know, just a buddy movie. But seeing the trailer, I'm like, okay, I need this. Like, I need this in my life. And you know, even if the movie is not that good, I have a feeling they will at least be the best parts about the movie. But I definitely hope the movie lives up to being a very funny movie.
Oh, no!
And yeah, there's nothing else to really say, really. Just it looks very fun, very funny, and I really want to see it. So yeah, go Stuber.
Adam, why are you here?
I want to fart on your tits, bitch.
Okay, I promise you. This time I was not responsible for it. What was my doing? I had nothing to do with this time.
Jackson, God bless you.
Absolutely nothing. But Jackson, please turn your camera off because you're scaring me.
Oh no, is that me? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was definitely not you, but yeah, it was definitely Tony here. But yeah. So Stuber,
yeah.
if you're looking forward to it, before I was rudely interrupted by an unwanted guest, it comes out on July 12th. Definitely look forward to it. It looks like a lot of fun for sure. Now we get to another film that comes out on July 12th that I really don't give a shit about, but thankfully the person that does give a shit about it is introducing it. So Jackson, go ahead.
I'm honestly, I'm kind of shocked that you say you don't give a shit about it because I had a lot of fun with this one, honestly. Yes, there are a few too many characters, particularly anything involving Thomas Middleditch, but overall, I actually really cared for the main family and Ken Watanabe. I really cared about.
You know what?
So, anyways, the movie is called Godzilla Crawl.
All residents must evacuate immediately. Grab your families, your loved ones, and get out.
Dad!
We won't be able to come for you.
Dad! Oh my God! What happened?
So Crawl, it's a new movie coming out with Kaya Scodelario. She's in it. Shut up. Anyways, yeah, she's in it. She's the main character. She's coming into her dad's house because there's a raging storm. She wants to make sure he's okay. Finds out, oh my God, he's in the basement with bad legs or whatever, but there's a croc under there. Oh, frick. The movie begins. And that's the plot. I am super hyped for this film. I didn't know what it was until I walked into the Intruder late and they were already playing the trailers. And I walked in as soon as this trailer was starting. I was like, all right, let's sit down. I was like, oh my gosh, I arrived just in time to see this great trailer for a movie that looks like a ton of fun. I haven't seen The Hills Have Eyes, which is Alexander Aja's, I guess, most popular film, but I'm gonna have to because this looks like a really fun premise. Done very well, hopefully. You know, I think there's a lot you can get out of this, like as far as like simple thrillers go, and it helps that I like the lead actress a lot, and I hope she and her dad have a good rapport with each other. And this might be reaching a bit because I don't know how deep this movie's going to be, pun intended, because of the raging waters. But maybe there's going to be some kind of family drama there that they'll have to get over as the film goes on.
Was there going to be a missing dad thing again, just like every horror movie you want to see now?
Guys, I have it on video here that I think I mentioned that the dad is.
Well, maybe there's another dad.
That the dad is under the house. So how can there be a missing dad element, Kevin?
Well, because maybe it's a stepdad, and she's grieving over her biological dad.
You know what Crawl is?
You've been exposed, Kevin. You've been exposed.
I mean, not really. I don't really. Anytime that.
So yeah, this movie looks like it could be a ton of fun. I hope maybe they go a little deeper as far as the characters go. That would make it a better thriller overall, because some of the best thrillers focus a lot on character development. But even if they don't, if they can just offer up a really fun thrill ride, then I'm all for it. I know you're not into it, Kevin, and I don't know about Tony yet. I'll wait to hear his thoughts when he talks. But I think this could be a surprise, fun thriller for the summer.
Yeah,
like The Shallows. Go fuck yourself.
Well, speaking of The Shallows, I'm not a fan of that one at all. I think it's a extremely repetitive and honestly,
I'm literally about to whoop your ass.
Pretty boring film. Look, is there a potential for this to be like a fun, like disaster film? Yeah, sure, but just for me, this is one of those trailers where whenever it plays, I'm like, why is this playing again? Like, I see this trailer constantly. I'm just sick of it.
Whenever I see the trailer, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
I just don't really care about it very much. I'm sure there's an audience for it, but it does not look like the kind of film that's going to interest me. Maybe it could be like a guilty pleasure or something, but I don't know. It just
a solid movie.
It just doesn't look that great. But
great.
Yeah, that's all I really got to say.
I mean, you can say more?
Go ahead, Tony, before I kill this boy.
You mean celebrate with me once the movie turns out good? 100% of Rotten Tomatoes won $100 million.
We're gonna do it together.
Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, it's interesting how you say, Kevin, that you got this a lot in the theaters, the trailer, because literally I've only gotten the trailer once, and that was when I went to go see Child's Play a couple of days ago. But no, I've seen this trailer online way before I even saw it before Child's Play recently, anyways. But yeah, you know, I do like these kind of simple movies. Like I'm with Jackson. I actually had a lot of fun with The Shallows. I think that's a very fun movie. It's especially fun to watch during the summertime, especially for me. Honestly, talking about it, I might just rewatch it whenever I have a chance. But
and I will not be joining you.
No one asked you a goddamn thing, Kevin.
No one asked you, Kevin. Shut up. But anyways, yeah. But that being said, yeah. I'm just not feeling Crawl. And like, trust me, I like crazy things like this. Like, we don't really get a lot of like alligator movies. We really get a lot of like shark thriller movies, but we don't really get a lot of alligator movies. So I do like that. Instead of like a shark, like we tend to get like every summer.
Yes, we need that. We need that alligator representation.
Yes. More representation for Alex. But yeah, hopefully I hope it's surprisingly fun. Like I want to have a fun time watching this movie, and there is definitely potential for sure. Just that I haven't really been the fan of the trailer, and I do feel like personally the trailer gives away way too much too. But like I said, I hope it surprised me though, and that's all I have to say about Crawl.
Adam, why are you back?
Everyone, Bonnie made a friend. Everyone, Bonnie. Everyone, Bonnie made a friend in class. Everyone.
All right, now that was read
class.
Oh, she's already making friends.
All right, if you're looking forward to Crawl, it comes out on July 12th. Definitely look forward to it. Holy shit!
Everyone, Bonnie.
Yes.
Everyone, Bonnie made a friend in class. No, literally made. You made Forky.
I want to check him, but if I do, it's gonna block him for like a month, and I don't want to do that.
Do it. You won't. No balls.
Forky is the most important toy to buy. We have a situation. I am not a toy.
I'm just gonna wait. So now that those shenanigans are out of the way, first of all, my power went out, so I guess I'm doing the rest of this in the fucking dark. So that's great. But on top of that, if you're looking forward to Crawl, it does come out on July 12th. Also coming on July 12th, this movie I actually am really looking forward to, though. And unfortunately, though, I'm not the one introducing it. Tony is, and Tony's going to introduce that film.
You know, I would introduce it, Kevin, but I have to go now, so I bid you farewell.
Oh my god. Wow, he actually left. What the fuck?
We'll have to go to China.
Wedding is an excuse so everyone can see her.
He's my only cousin. Did you think I should be there?
You can't hide your emotions. If you go, Nana will find out right away.
Really 啊？咋啦？咋不说话呢？
今天人多齐呀，好久没这么聚了，奶奶就等着这一天呐。来，大口咬，哇，哈哈哈哈哈！
你觉得我们应该告诉奶奶吗？
太痛苦了吧？
如果她想说再见呢？你告诉她就毁了她美好的心情，你说对吧？搭到她的肩膀上。你说我都怀疑我又不在，他俩在卧室能干啥呀？
So yeah, The Farewell. Yeah, this is a movie I've heard about for a couple of months now, and I have to say I think it looks really, really great. And this is Awkwafina and a very dramatic role for her. And for what I understand, this is also A24's first PG rated movie. You know, correct me if I'm wrong there, but Yeah. So I think that's very exciting too, to be honest. And it looks like one of those movies that's going to have a lot of heart to it, but there's also going to be a lot of sadness along the way. And the performances, they just look absolutely top notch. And I truly can't wait to see The Farewell. Like it just looks like such a great movie.
But The Farewell, this is one that I've been excited for a very long time now, ever since I heard about it, like film festivals and shit like that. Awkwafina is an actress that I have liked in things, but I do feel like she's kind of starting to become like a Tiffany Haddish or something like that, where she's playing very similar roles. So I'm glad to see she's doing something like this film, which is hopefully going to break her out of the mold. It's going to be something a lot different. It seems like she's going to do something a lot more challenging here. And the story that's being told here, I think, is really great. I love the idea that you have this family and there's like a lot of secrets going on and lies and things like that. And I'm excited to see how all that's done. But I think it's also going to be a really tragic story, considering that the matriarch of
So like I was trying to say with The Farewell, like I said, I really do love the concept of this movie for sure. I think there's definitely a lot you can do with it. Sure, the idea of like secrets being revealed and things like that, it's been done a million times, but this film seems like it's going to do it in a really authentic and different sort of way. And like I said, it's really cool to see an A24 film that is marketed for families and things like that. We haven't really seen that before, which I think is really interesting. And then Awkwafina, I'm very excited to see what she does here as well. Just everything about this movie, it looks really sentimental and really heartwarming for sure. It's definitely probably going to be a huge tearjerker, but everyone that I've seen, like all the early reviews I've seen, have basically said this is the best movie of the year. And considering the track record that A24 has had recently, I definitely think this is going to be something really great for sure. I am very much hyped for this film and definitely one of the most anticipated of the entire month for sure. Cannot wait for this one. But now, finally, I know you've been waiting, Jackson, but now it is finally time to go to you.
Damn, after 5 days, I finally get to talk about it. Anyways, yeah, The Farewell, it looks like this was another one where I didn't see the trailer until like much later after it had come out. And I was like, I'd heard all this great things about it, like blah, 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 whatever, who fucking cares? But then when I finally watched the trailer, because Kevin forced me to, I was like, oh, damn, like this is a very interesting concept, this idea of not telling the matriarch of the family that she's going to pass away soon, but you're all there trying to celebrate her life and say your goodbye. It was like, that seems like a really interesting idea that you could get a lot of raw, real emotions out of, and the trailer seems to really be hitting on that very much. Like this definitely looks like something of a tearjerker. And Awkwafina, I'm very impressed so far because literally you notice when Awkwafina is just kind of playing Awkwafina because she's over exaggerating her voice and she's acting very over the top, trying to be the funny one pretty much in anything she's doing. But in this one, it's like it feels like she's actually using like her real voice. She's toned down a lot, and she's actually playing a character with real feelings and relatability. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And I haven't even seen the movie yet, and I'm already blown away at her range pretty much. So I'm already excited for this movie off of the concept alone, but Awkwafina's performance is one that I'm most definitely interested in as well. So this went from being a movie I'd only heard about to being one of my most anticipated for the, I guess, summer, because this comes out in July. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. Also, my chair also wants to see the film.
Oh yes. Your chair is communicating with us.
Yes.
All right, hang on. All right. So if you guys are looking forward to Farewell, it does come out on July 12th. Definitely very excited to see. I'm not sure if it goes wide on that day. However, because AMC, I know, is starting to release more art house stuff, it very well could be. So we'll have to see. But definitely very excited for it. Now we get to another film that I was initially a bit skeptical about, but honestly, I'm a bit more interested in, and that is The Art of Self-Defense.
I want you to tell me why you're here.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of other men. I want to be what intimidates me.
You came to the right place.
I'm taking my first class today.
Your new white belt?
Is that the first belt color?
White is before color. You haven't earned color yet.
Today's lesson: to kick with your fists and punch with your feet.
That makes perfect sense.
Good.
What the fuck was that? All right. So, The Art of Self-Defense overall, this was one where I first watched the trailer and I wasn't really into it. It looked like very, very dry sort of humor, which sometimes works for me, but this just looked like one of those cases where it wasn't really going to. The new trailer, on the other hand, though, I loved. I think this looks like a very interesting film for sure. You have, Jesse Eisenberg's character, someone who just isn't very tough at all, and he's in this very sort of hostile environment where, everyone is very by the book and they're all a certain way, but he isn't that certain way, and he's learning to, acclimate to society. Looks like a lot of fun for sure. Jesse Eisenberg, I mean, this is the kind of role that he really does excel at. These really awkward, just introverted type characters. And it really seems like he's going to do a great job here. I love what I'm seeing of Alessandra Navallo's character, as well as Imogen Poots' character. They both look like they're going to provide some really great humor here as well. A lot of great, like I said, dark and just very dry humor in this trailer. I think there's definitely a lot of potential with this one. So this was one where I wasn't really feeling it that much, and then it went to a movie that I'm actually really excited for. So yeah, I am definitely on board with this one.
I was already excited for this film, unlike Kevin, who is a fake fan. But yeah, I saw the trailer late one night. I was about to go to bed, and I was putting on my last YouTube video for the day, and this ad came up, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" Because I had never heard of this movie before, and I was like, "Oh my god, this looks very interesting." Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg, it's obviously very dry, but I think Jesse Eisenberg can pull that off very well just because of how he is naturally as an actor. But I think he's going to pull it off really well here, and I think they've crafted something that looks like a very interesting story that'll really study these characters that we're following super well too. And though it may focus on some dark aspects of it, it can also be something that's really funny, because the trailer had me chuckling a lot, which is really cool, because I like movies that are dry. I like movies that aren't afraid to just tone it down and be as dry as possible. It's probably why I love The Dead Don't Die so much, even though that's admittedly not a perfect film, but I love it for its sense of humor. But hopefully, obviously, this movie has nothing in common with that one other than they're both dry, but I hope this one turns out to be a surprise for some people. I feel like some people aren't expecting this to be amazing, really, maybe not amazing, that might be too strong a word, but a really good movie. So I hope that's the key thing that people are talking about, that this is a highlight of the summer, because I'm hoping it is, because it looks like that. Also, this movie inspired me to go take ninja classes to beat the shit out of Kevin.
Oh yeah.
And that is all I wanted to say.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I do like the idea of this movie, and I do like Jesse Eisenberg, but I have to admit it's not really doing it for me as far as the marketing is going. Hopefully it's one of those things where there's much more to the movie than what the marketing is implying. But as of right now, I'm just not really all that excited for it. You guys said dry, and I think that's the best way to describe it. It's just way too dry for me, to be honest. There really isn't a lot of moments that really made me laugh. I got maybe a couple of chuckles at best, but nothing that made me really go, ha ha. So I don't really know, but I am looking forward to Jesse Eisenberg, because like you guys say, he normally nails these very awkward roles the best. He is really freaking good when it comes to those kind of roles. So if anything, I am looking forward to see how Jesse Eisenberg can do with this film. But as the film itself, unfortunately, not doing it for me. But I do hope if I ever get around to seeing it, that I'll enjoy it.
All right, so The Art of Self-Defense, if you guys are looking forward to it, does come out on July 12th. It is expanding on July 19th, so definitely look forward to that one. Now we get to a film that's similar to an earlier film we talked about. I honestly don't remember at all, but Jackson here's going to introduce it.
LeMayo, I mean, it could have been worse, but yeah, the angle is fucking good. The movie's called Sword of Trust.
Like how you're annoying me.
Trust like how Kevin trusts me to annoy the shit out of him every day.
Best way to do this is through concrete evidence.
Is this antique roadshow for racists?
Up to $50,000.
God damn it.
What's the deal?
70-30 sounds fair to me.
Just don't touch.
I can't touch the tag?
Don't touch the tag.
Honey, 70-30, is it 70 for us? No. No deal.
30 for us. No deal.
They're gonna be out of the office on this, because the word's out.
Word's out.
Came here looking for something. Heard you have it.
Can we narrow it down a little?
We're looking for a sword.
All right.
A sword.
Why was that so hard?
It wasn't hard.
Wasn't hard.
Why did we have to take that route to get there?
30 seconds to get there.
Didn't
Wasn't
take
that long.
So, Sword of Trust. How do I describe this movie? Well, Cynthia and Mary show up to collect Cynthia's inheritance from her deceased grandfather, but the only item she receives is an antique sword that was believed by her grandfather to be proof that the South won the Civil War. That's the IMDb synopsis of this motion picture. Kevin forced me to watch this fucking trailer like he always does. Like, let me show you this trailer. I'm like, oh my God, Kevin, why? He's like, it's for the movie preview. Like, whatever, but fuck, I'm just not gonna watch it. But then he forces me to anyways. Great. And I don't remember anything about it other than what I just read on IMDb. I remember it looking fine, but I don't know. As far as going to a topic like the South winning the Civil War, the movie could be problematic. Maybe, not sure. I guess it depends on how they go with it or what they do with it story-wise. It just looks really uninteresting to me, and it's not going to be something I see. So I don't know why Kevin puts it on the movie preview like a fucking dumbass. But, he's quirky like that. Fucker.
See, you tell me the concept, and I'm like, that sounds way more interesting than this trailer suggested, because all I got was this just looked like a very just mediocre trailer with an admittedly really funny comedian. Like, I'm a big fan of Mark Maron. I think he's fantastic on Glow and things like that, and I really do respect him as an actor. But this just looks so middle of the road to me. It seems like one of those films that I rent, I watch, and then I talk about in a catch-up review, and then I just forget about it. It seems like one of those kind of films to me. The humor really is not grabbing me at all. The idea of the South winning the Civil War, is problematic as that can be, there actually is a lot you can do with that concept, but it does not seem like they're tapping into that at all here. I didn't even really get that vibe from the trailer. Maybe it was just because I was just not interested in it at all, but this really did absolutely nothing for me. And like I said, we watched a bunch of these trailers prior to this, and this is just one that I am just struggling to remember. Like, I literally can't remember this trailer at all, except for the fact that it just looked really mediocre. So yeah, I guess I'm not looking forward to this then.
And I'm right there with you. I also think this looks very mediocre, and it's quite a shame because when I read the synopsis, like if I were to not watch this trailer, like say for example, if I just read it first and then watched the trailer,
yeah, same.
Reading the synopsis, I'm like, oh, that sounds really interesting. I can't wait to see how it handles it. And then I watch this trailer, I'm all like, it's like what you said. It doesn't look like they're gonna really dive that deep into its overall like premise. And I do like Mark Maron a lot from like Glow because, like Kevin said, I am a big fan of him because he's so good in that show. And he looks like he's going to be really good in this movie, no question. But it's just like when it comes to the movie itself, it's just not really giving me anything. It just looks so mediocre. It looks like one of those movies where I'm going to watch. I won't hate myself for watching it, but I feel like there's not going to be much to it. And, it's just like I forget about it. I move on with my day and boom. It just looks like one of those movies. Who knows? Maybe that won't be the case, but that's just the vibe I'm getting from the trailer. And I can't really say I'm all that impressed with the trailer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so Sword of Trust, if you guys are looking forward to it, does come out on July 12th. I really have not heard too much about this at all. But Tony, you just said that you're not going to hate yourself with this movie. This next one, though, I don't know if we can really say that. And it's one that we have quite a lot to say about, and you're going to introduce it.
Oh, but before I do, Kevin, I got to go out and save Zoe. She's in
trouble. Oh, my God.
The movie.
Wait. Are you thinking Zoe Deutsch?
Yes.
Be quiet, Kevin. It's not Zoe Deutsch. Stop associating her with
Zoe Deutsch.
For those that don't know, the movie is Saving Zoe. Saving Zoe.
Everything you're feeling is normal. Your sister was murdered, and you're trying to deal with that.
I remember last summer. Who's that? I knew it wasn't you, I swear to God.
We found your car, Mark.
Are you sure there's nothing you want to tell us?
He was the last person to see Zoe alive.
This is the movie I know that has actually the Morano sisters, Laura Morano and Vanessa Morano.
Oh, me.
Yeah. You're related to them, Kevin. I'm so excited for your sisters of being in their movie together.
Yeah, I know.
I think this is the first time they've been in the movie together. I could be wrong in that, but I think this is the first time they've actually worked together on a movie. So
I feel like they worked on something before, but I'm not sure.
yeah, you could be right. But yeah, I do like the Morano sisters and all that. But as far as the movie, I don't know if I could say the same. Like I know this is a smaller release, but I feel like you could still do more with a small budget. It's like, especially when I look at movies like Brigsby Bear, where they just don't feel cheap. It's like this one just looks so incredibly cheap. And it just looks so generic. It just feels like the direction it's going to really take these characters. I mean, the acting, I suppose, doesn't look like the worst thing about the movie. I'll say that, but well, to some extent, I'll say that. But no, it's just one of those things where I think it's more on the writing that looks more unbearable in my opinion.
Yeah,
and the directing too, and like I said, cinematography. Wow. I feel like they really did not try when it came to cinematography. There's not really a whole lot to say, but yeah, I can't really say. I'm looking forward to this movie, and yeah, best of luck to Morale Sisters. I'll say that, but yeah, that's all I have to say, Chief.
Look, this trailer kind of slipped past me. I saw like the poster on like IMDb and things like that. But honestly, the first time I heard this trailer was a thing, I thought it was a parody trailer. Like, I thought this was something that like was like a hypothetical thing. Like, if Vanessa Morano and Laura Morano were to do a movie together, this is what it'd be. I didn't think it was an actual movie, but no, it turns out it is. And wow, does it look bad.
It kind of does look like a parody trailer.
There are not many movies on this list that I'm dreading. In fact, there aren't really any except for this one. This is the only one this month that I am legitimately dreading. Everything about this looks so cheap. It honestly looks like a YouTube movie at points. I'm surprised that it's actually getting like a theatrical release. That's very surprising to me. And look, I really do like Laura Morano as an actress, but I have to say, post Austin and Ally, she has not been very impressive in terms of her filmography. I mean, she was just in The Perfect Date. I thought she was really boring and just did not seem like she wanted to be there in that. And then here, she's just way too over the top, and I am not feeling it at all. Vanessa Morano I like as well, but it seems like she's going to be pretty much wasted here. The whole concept we've seen done 1,000 times before. Oh, the sister disappears and she's left all these secrets behind, and the other sister who is in her shadow is to try to like pick up the pieces and things like that. Like, come on, we've seen this so many fucking times before. I don't see what this movie's going to do any differently. This just seems like a movie that we're going to rabbit. It's going to be a film we're probably going to make fun of, and that's kind of it. I don't really see this being anything more than that. It looks so incredibly generic to me. It looks cheap as hell, and oh my God. Like, again, there's not many films I'm dreading this month, but this one I am legitimately dreading.
It's most likely going to be one of those movies that plays at Alamo Draft House in my area.
Yes, yes.
Kevin, what's rabbit? You mean Muppet?
Do you want to ride on Snowball the bunny from Secret Life?
No, not that one. Not that one. Not that rabbit. That's not what I'm referring to. Shut up.
Anyways, this is another one. Kevin forced me to watch the trailer, as Kevin does, because he's, as I've said, a dick. But it looks really. The trailer was starting, and I was like, "All right, let's see what Kevin's showing me." And then throughout the rest of the trailer, I was just like, I wasn't hating it, but was I bored and miserable? Yes. So I don't know. Maybe this is going to be one where we rabbit, and it's actually the funniest movie ever made. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see
that would actually save it's this year's Wish Upon. Surprisingly, I mean, like, oh.
Or even an airstrike for me and Kevin.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. But it just doesn't seem like that. It just seems like a really lazy, been there, done that, cheap kind of thriller that I don't really care for all that much from the trailer. So, and that was me after I saw the trailer. I was like, "Hold on, Kevin." And I dragged my entire desktop into the bathroom just so I could record myself taking a shit in response to me watching this trailer.
Just out of pure curiosity, were Flaming Hot Cheetos involved in that happening?
Yeah, and then I watched Baby Driver to cheer up.
Okay. As we all do. We all have those moments.
This was also after my mom couldn't drive me to a screening because she had flaming hot diarrhea.
Yeah. That screening was Love, Simon, just so you know. They were randomly...
Oh, yeah, that's why I saw it like 3 months late, yeah.
So, as you guys can all tell, we are all so hyped for this film. If you're looking
Kevin, we never said we were hyped for this movie!
Like, it's a joke! Just go with it!
A joke!
Just go with it.
I hope your power cuts out again.
Zoe, it comes out on July 12th. I guess check it out. And yeah, but the next movie we're talking about, I don't really think many people know what it is either. And that is Trespassers, which I'm going to do to Jackson in a second. I'm going to trespass into his house so I can fucking murder him finally.
Wait, did you say you're going to trespass into my ass?
Yes, that's definitely what I said.
I'll take it.
Never mind. I just want to forget that the world exists for a bit. Enjoy the dream while it lasts.
Why would someone be here so late?
I don't know. I can't see who it is.
What? No, don't answer the door.
I am so sorry. My car broke down just down the road, and I was wondering if I could just use the phone really quick.
You don't want her to come in? Why don't you go fix her car instead?
I want us to go back 5 minutes, leave the door closed.
One call. Yep, just me and 4 of my lovely new friends. We'll be here.
So this is yet another one that I watched the trailer with Jackson. Unfortunately, yes, I forced myself to watch it with him, and
no, you didn't. You forced me to watch it with you, you cuck.
Well, you know what? We collectively forced each other. But
no, we didn't.
Yes,
you're
we
like,
did.
all right, let's watch this trailer now. Lol.
All right.
You suck. I hate it.
This man keeps spewing. This looks really bad. It definitely does. But unlike Saving Zoe, it looks hilariously bad. Like, this is one that I can see myself absolutely watching and just dying of laughter over. This looks so dumb. I mean, again, this is a concept we've seen 1,000 times before, where it's just, oh, these teenagers, they rent this gorgeous house and things like that. And, you know, it's all about, you know, drugs and sex and all that stuff. But then quickly, all these weird things start happening. Like, we know what direction this is going to go in. It's going to be something really stupid. It's probably going to be something I laugh at. Janelle Parrish is an actress that I do really like, but most times in movies, she's really bad. I feel like that's definitely going to be the case here. And yeah, so I really don't have too much to say about this one. It looks pretty funny, and yeah.
This movie looks like Traffic and The Strangers had a baby.
Yeah.
But it turns out they were brother and sister, so it was a really gross, messed up baby. You know, like one of those hillbilly kids.
Oh no!
Like really ugly, missing a few chromosomes.
Roadkill, all that stuff.
Yeah, like droopy eyes, weirdo teeth. Yeah. You know, like incest babies. Yeah, just like incest babies are. Like this movie looks like it is. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it looks like it could be funny. Just because it looks so cheap and so much like a ripoff. But you know, I mean, I'm a sucker for cheapo, terrible horror films, so whatever, man. I don't give a frick, man. I don't care, man. I don't care. Whatever. I'll watch it. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. I'll see it in theaters. When's it playing? When's it coming out? July 12. All right, I'll be there at opening day. See this movie in theaters. I'll give them money. Shit, honestly, I might see it again. I might see it 2 times that weekend.
Okay.
3 times. You know what? No. 4 times. 4 times. I'll see it 4 times in theaters. And then you know what? Instead of
clearly Jackson is high for this.
Instead of seeing anything else throughout the rest of the month, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Lion King, I'll just see this movie again. You know, see it 20 times. I'll see it 20 times. Honestly, why would I see any other movie this year? I'm just gonna see this one. I'm gonna see it until it's out of theaters, and then I won't see any other movie this year. That's it. That's my plan. Fuck Kevin.
I don't know what the fuck Jackson is smoking right now, but let's cut to Tony.
It's called Red Velvet. You want some?
Oh, okay, yeah, let's go.
I mean, it's still weed, but it's red, so maybe it's like it's like spicier for the brain, I think.
Oh my
So it's
god.
kind of like a flaming
You want
hot
some too, Tony?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, might as well, my man.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So when it comes to Trespassers, I have never heard of this movie. Like, obviously, some of these movies I haven't heard of, but I have at least some knowledge of them. Trespassers, I have heard nothing. Like, no shit. No, like, poster, no, like, first look photo, no ad, nothing. At least stuff like Saving Zoe, I knew slightly about and all that. This one, I had no idea was actually a thing. And so I saw it because of, you know, the movie preview. And, you know, similar to how Film Fan hated Kevin for making him watch that Palms trailer. That's how I am with Kevin on that this Trespassers trailer, because this trailer is absolute garbage. Like, I was literally watching this trailer going, the fuck are you putting me through, Kevin? Like I was.
I look at movies on Movie Insider. I see what's coming out, and I put it on there. I don't know how it's gonna be until I watch the trailer. So blame Movie Insider, not me.
I blame you.
Like, you know, I'm doing my homework for this movie preview right here. You know, you see that nice TV right there? Yeah, I was binge watching some of the trailers I haven't heard of through that nice TV, and I had the wonderful, wonderful privilege of watching fucking Trespassers on that TV. My TV deserves better than that. Yeah, for a horror movie, this looks like one of the worst ones to come out. Well, fuck you, Kevin. That's what I think of Trespassers.
Yeah, fuck you, Kevin. I'm on Tony's side.
Now that Tony's melodramatic-ness is out of the way.
Melodramatic? Kevin!
If you are looking
I hate you, Kevin. I hate you. I hate you, Kevin.
Preach, Jackson.
Oh my god,
Preach.
Kevin.
Preach.
You're the melodramatic one, Kevin. Oh my god.
If you are looking forward to Trespassers, it does come out on July 12th. I guess check it out. And yeah, but now we get to, of course, as we do every single month, I try to include at least one Netflix film, regardless if it looks bad or not. And this is the only one that we're talking about, because the only one that has a date right now. There's no other Netflix films that are scheduled to come out, even though they're probably going to schedule like 6 or 7 after this video. But either way, Jackson, go ahead.
Everyone, Bonnie made a friend in class.
Oh!
No, like she literally made a new friend. I want you to meet Point Blank.
Last night, a man was taken to your hospital. I need you to get him out.
Wherever he goes, I go. Whatever you say, officer. What's happening? His heart. Get me to the defibrillator.
You want to get involved in this hole? Let me handle it.
Who took my wife? Dirty cops. Where are you going?
I'm gonna kill him. All of them.
My God, that was awful.
Good job, Jackson. Thank you.
That was worse than like some of the things Tony said, and that's saying something.
Anyways, so yeah, this is the new this is the new Marvel Netflix series. Instead of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's actually Falcon and Crossbones, which I found really surprising. It's very interesting to see Marvel go in this direction. You know, I thought for sure that Crossbones had blowed up in Civil War, but I guess not. I guess they're okay. Maybe this is one of the alternate. This is one of the alternate timelines where they became best buds. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. So yeah, it looks really interesting. I can't wait to see it. In all seriousness, yeah, I watched the trailer and I don't remember anything about it other than Frank Grillo and Anthony Mackie seem like they're having fun? Question mark? Maybe? Yeah. I don't remember. Because almost all these trailers are highly forgettable, and it's all Kevin's fault for picking these freaking movies. That's the end of my time. Oh, the action scenes look like they could be fun.
Yes.
And since I have no idea what the story was based off that trailer, I guess those are going to have to save the movie. Well, that and Frank Grillo and Anthony Mackie's wonderful chemistry. Unlike the chemistry that Kevin and I do not have.
Yeah,
got him, pranked him.
Yeah, we don't have any.
or if anything, we have a lack of chemistry. But Point Blank, yeah, this was one that I didn't really know much about, but I figured, hey, Anthony Mackie, Frank Grillo, maybe it'll be something really good, and it looks mediocre. I mean, there's really not much that this trailer offers. Similar to a lot, and I mean a lot of Netflix trailers, it looks extremely tonally inconsistent. It starts off and it's really serious, and then it turned into like a full-on like action comedy. I'm like, what direction is this trailer really trying to go into? They're like cracking jokes. So like the music was like swelling and things like that. It was just a really weird trailer overall. I do agree that I think Frank Grillo and Anthony Mackie are going to work well together overall. I think if all else fails, they will probably be the saving grace of the movie. And the action scenes do look admittedly pretty good. But overall, this just seems like another film that Netflix is just dumping onto their service because they can't seem to find another home for it. And yeah, I mean, at this point, I've gone on long enough about how I wish Netflix was more selective, but they're never going to be, so it's not even worth mentioning at this point. It looks fine, I guess, and yeah, next movie.
No, next person. Go ahead, Tony. You're more than just a movie to me. Go ahead.
Thank you. To save his pregnant wife, an emergency room teams up with an injured murder suspect in a race against time, rival criminals, and renegade cops. All right, so after I read that beautiful synopsis, yeah, so just like Trespassers, I've heard nothing about this movie, had no idea it was a thing, but unlike Trespassers, I actually don't think this looks that bad. I think it looks like it could be at best a pretty fun movie. I could definitely understand someone not really feeling it because, yeah, it's not anything new. So I could definitely understand why Kevin and Jackson aren't necessarily like enthusiastic about it. Yeah, but I think it is.
Let him speak. Let him speak, Kevin. Jesus. I'm so sorry, Tony. Please go ahead. Oh my God.
I know. I just want to slap Kevin too, Jackson. But yeah, it's like what you guys said. Anthony Mackie did the same thing. Oh my God, Kevin. Thank you.
Jesus Christ, Kevin, you just gave me nightmares.
But yeah, Anthony Mackie and Frank Grillo, I do think they look like a lot of fun together. It is cool to get one of the thousands of MCU crossover movies because holy crap, we've been getting so many of them that have nothing to do with the MCU. So yeah, and I don't think the action sequences look all that bad either. No. I think they look pretty fun and all that. What I did find jarring about the trailer though is that they used the same song from fucking the Happy Time Murders. That's what that's what I did find jarring about the trailer. But aside from actually, I'm not kidding, Kevin. When they started playing that song, you should have seen my reaction. I literally went, "Are they playing the Happy Time Murders?"
I said the same thing. I was.
but yeah, in conclusion, aside from that, yeah, I think it looks pretty entertaining. That's all I have to say about it.
So what you're saying is Melissa McCarthy must show up. She needs to show up in the movie.
She needs to make that cameo like she did with Central Intelligence.
Yes, her and Frank, they need to show up together. But yeah, so if you're looking forward to Point Blank, it comes out on Netflix on July 12th. Watch it as well as the dozens of other Netflix movies that will be announced way after this video because Netflix is fucking terrible with promoting shit. But either way, those are all the movies that come out on July 12th. Now we get into what is arguably the biggest movie of this month, even though I really don't feel that way. Tony here is going to introduce it.
The Lion King.
Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. While others search for what they can take, a true king searches for what he can give.
Wait a second. Did you conveniently put on the shirt just to talk about this trailer? I am just noticing this. Son of a bitch.
No, funny enough, if you look back at the rest of this video, no, I've actually had this shirt on this entire time. I'm not kidding you. I just happened to just put on the shirt. I did not put the shirt in any way for this movie preview.
That is too big of a coincidence for me to believe. No,
it's not.
But yes, The Lion King. You know, a lot of people have said it. You know, I love the animated movie. I feel like I'm not saying anything new when I say that, but you know, I have to be
really,
honest.
I thought most people hate it.
Oh yeah, same here, same here.
Kevin, be quiet! Oh my God, Kevin!
But I mean, yes, there is a reason I have a Simba stuffed animal right here because I do love The Lion King. Yeah, it's crazy to think that it literally just turned 25 years old very, very recently. And we're getting, you know, now this live action, well, I shouldn't say live action, but CGI remake. There you go, CGI remake. And I have to be honest, I'm very excited for it, especially since it's Jon Favreau who directed The Jungle Book. And he did a very good job of making The Jungle Book feel different enough from the animated film. And even though the trailers, the market might be telling you, okay, yeah, it's the same thing from the animated film, I feel like we're going to get more different material than what the trailers are implying. And I have faith in Jon Favreau. So I do feel like, you know, he's going to obviously respect and honor the animated film, but I feel like he will do at least different enough stuff to make it feel different from the animated film at the same time. Obviously, visually, this movie looks absolutely stunning. Like, I know even those that may not be as excited for this one, even they can admit that, you know, visually, it looks absolutely stunning. Just the details, the look, the overall environment, like, it is just breathtaking. Like, it's one of those things you want to kind of hang up in your room, like, as a work of art, because it just looks that believable. And obviously, I love the voice cast here. Donald Glover, I feel like he's going to be absolutely great as Simba. And obviously, you have Beyonce as Nala. And then, you know, you have Seth Rogen, Keegan-Michael Key, many more wonderful talents. And, of course, James Earl Jones coming back as Mufasa. I would have preferred, you know, if they gotten someone else different for Mufasa. Yes. But you know what? I'm still, you know, not going to really complain about it because it is going to be cool to hear his voice again and all that. But like, yeah, for sure. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot that Jon Favreau is really going to bring to the table. And the fact that the trailers really haven't shown that much aside from like the familiar material we got from the animated film. I think it's really cool, and I think that just makes the movie more exciting. The fact that we haven't really seen that much from the film, even the TV spots I've noticed have been very secretive when it comes to this film. So I feel like there's definitely going to be more than what the TV spots or the trailers are really implying. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. This is, yeah, I'd say this is my third anticipated of July. It's right there with Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man's like my second, and then obviously we'll get to another film later on, which is my number one. But yeah, I'm really excited for this movie, honestly. So yeah, Circle of Life, baby.
All right, hot take time. Let's go. Look, I will say this, similar to everyone, I am a huge fan of the original Lion King. I, you know, watched it back a couple years ago, and it is every bit as stunning and as groundbreaking of an animated film as it was then. It tells such a fantastic story. Such a fantastic story that you almost question, why the fuck would anyone ever want to remake it? And, yeah, here we are. Now, look, I know you could say, well, Kevin, we didn't need a Beauty and the Beast remake, and you love that one. And yes, that would be true. The Jungle Book, I can't say because I actually don't remember the original very much, so I can't really say much about that one. Cinderella, yes, I do very much enjoy. But lately, for me, I feel like the Disney live-action films, they've just felt very forceful. They felt like movies that didn't really need to be made, and they tried to do something. They said they were going to do something different, but they didn't do something different enough. Dumbo very much suffered from this problem. Aladdin added new things that didn't need to be there at all. And in terms of The Lion King, I'm really not feeling either. Now, look, I will say this. In terms of the voice cast, I think everyone is definitely well casted here. Donald Glover, I think, is going to be a really good Simba. Seth Rogen, I mean, that's about as perfect as you can definitely guess.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think easily, if the film isn't good, the best thing about it will be the rapport between him and Billy Eichner. I think their back and forth is going to be great for sure. And yes, I do think the photorealistic animation definitely looks really great here. It is honestly stunning how they're able to pull it off, even if, at least to me, some of the character designs don't really fit the characters. Like Scar, I'm not really feeling very much at all. I do think Simba looks good and things like that. But then we get to the things I'm not excited for. James Earl Jones, like you touched upon, I hate the fact that he's playing Mufasa again because it's fucking lazy. He's literally doing the same thing again. He's recording voice lines that he already did. He's saying, you know, he's doing the same story beats that he already hit in the original. It's almost as if they could have just taken his recording in the original and just applied it here. He really is doing nothing different unless they give Mufasa some bigger subplot that I don't know about. But at least for me, I feel like you needed a different actor because to me, this just feels really lazy. I get it that he's kind of irreplaceable, but again, that really just, the question just becomes then like, why even remake it in the first place if you thought Mufasa was so irreplaceable in that sense? I don't really understand.
Not to interrupt you, but I know how you talked about how Morgan Freeman could have been a good Mufasa.
Yeah, no, definitely. He would have been fantastic. I could have definitely seen that for sure. And then in terms of the movie, look, I think Jon Favreau is a very talented director. I think he is going to do a good job, but just the movie to me, it's just not grabbing me. It feels very forced. It just feels like it didn't need to be made. And as much as I want to be excited for it, every single time I'm just like, I mean, I should be excited, but I've seen this all before. There's nothing new the trailers are showing me that's really grabbing me. There's nothing different it looks like it's going to do. I'm hearing that it is going to be something different, but just for me personally, I'm just not really feeling it at all. I do think that there is a possibility that out of the 3 Disney action remakes we've had this year, I feel like this one could be the best, but again, that's not saying much because I haven't liked the other ones. So who knows, honestly. I don't know. I'm really not feeling it. I'm beginning to be very I'm just beginning to feel very just jaded towards these live action remakes. They're just really not doing it for me at all. And this one just doesn't look like it's going to be any different. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it is something good. But for me, I'm just not feeling it.
Funny enough, this movie's coming out the day before my birthday, which is fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to see it at all on my birthday. I'm kidding. I'm still going to see this movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know me. I've complained before about Disney remakes. Not all of them, obviously. Like Dumbo, I had some hope for it because I don't think the animated film is perfect. They could have done something with that. The original Jungle Book, I don't think that's a perfect animated film, and I think Jon Favreau made it a perfect. Took the original and made it into something more tight and kind of spectacular to me.
Oh yeah, it's a great one.
So and that's kind of the thing everyone goes back to as far as hey, Jungle Book worked and Jon Favreau made that. He's making Lion King. Whenever someone says that about they're not looking forward to this movie, and I can understand that. Obviously, I'm not going into this film expecting this is gonna suck. This is gonna be awful. I'm not really not going into this film expecting that. I'm honestly just going in. My expectations are set at it'll probably be well directed by Favreau. It's gonna look fantastic. The voice cast is probably gonna be perfect. And it's probably going to be a really exciting film because it's now in live action. And that's it. I'm really not putting this on like a bad movie standard. But the thing that always pulls me back from it is I'm kind of a purist, pretty much. So I basically look at the cartoon, and it's my favorite animated film of all time, The Lion King. And I watched that, and I'm like, this is perfect. This is spectacular. This is wonderful. It was so good. In fact, they re-released it in 3D a couple years ago because it was so fantastic. Yeah, and it made a ton of money, more than most 3D re-releases do. Like more than Phantom Menace, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and even more than Beauty and the Beast when that was re-released. But
and that made a lot too, yeah.
So it really just boils down to, I hope they try to do something different with the story at least without it. But that's the thing too, is like, I think the story for the animated film is already so perfect. So if they follow it to a T, the movie, the live action movie is still going to be good, but it'll be just kind of like, okay, but why does it need to exist other than we can make it look live action and make money off of it? I always go to the cynical corporate mindset when it comes to a lot of these remakes. But if you add anything new, you risk either you risk the potential possibilities of we're actually strengthening the story, or we're gonna drag it out and add stuff that doesn't need to be there, but shut up. But we're adding it anyways, or I don't know. So I'm going into this film. I'm going in open-minded. I do that with every movie. I try to, at least. Sometimes it's hard to escape that mindset, but I attempt to do that with every film I see. And I'm going to do the same with The Lion King, because I'm not going in expecting this going to be a disaster like Aladdin, because I didn't even go into Aladdin thinking it was going to be a disaster. But you know,
I know someone in this room.
Yeah, but mainly it's just my expectations are set, and I'm afraid I'm just going to get my expectations. You know what I mean? I'm afraid that it's not gonna, as far as remakes go, they're not gonna do something that's like, whoa, that's even better than the original. And obviously, if it's not better than the original, fine, because I love the original. But that's the point of remakes, is to make something better than what you're currently remaking, because that's what they did with Pete's Dragon and The Jungle Book. And even though I don't think Beauty and the Beast is better than the cartoon, they did add some other things that helped strengthen it a little bit.
Yeah, there are some
I was like,
aspects
okay,
that I like
okay,
more.
shut up. But yeah, they and even Aladdin, even though Aladdin fell flat on their face, they attempted to add stuff that they didn't properly develop, so it just felt shoehorned in. But you know, other than that, and even Maleficent, like they took the Sleeping Beauty story.
Oh, you mean Wicked 2.0?
Shut the fuck up. They took the Sleeping Beauty story and they twisted the main character. So it's like, okay, it's a remake, but you're telling it from a different angle. It's a different kind of movie. And so I'm worried that although this looks good and it looks appealing because the visual effects look outstanding, though not as good as the hand-drawn animation, which is still more stunning than anything live action. I'm just worried that it's just going to be fine. It's exactly what you'd expect it to be, but everyone's going to love it because I know what The Lion King is, and I love it in live action now. I'm worried that, I guess that's more of a problem with me against society, is that I'm afraid people are just getting so used to just, I remember seeing that, so I'm going to see it again, but different, but it's not better, and it has no reason to be here. So yeah, those are my thoughts on The Lion King. I'm expecting a good movie, but if it exceeds my expectations, I'll be happy. I'll be surprised. But if it doesn't, if it somehow turns out bad, even though Jon Favreau is making it, then holy fuck! Like, how do you mess up that bad?
Yeah, right.
Also, I want to make a correction. Kevin, why would you say that Morgan Freeman would be a good Mufasa?
Because
I want to counter Kevin real quick because he's an asshole. Yes, Morgan Freeman has a fantastic voice, obviously, but when I think of Mufasa, I don't think of this voice coming out of it. I think of the James Earl Jones bass with his deep fucking voice that's so powerful. And Morgan Freeman has a very Morgan Freeman has a very distinct voice, but it's not a booming, powerful, kingly voice that James Earl Jones did. So I actually do like the fact that even though they could have found someone else to do Mufasa, they got the guy that they know, hey, no one can do it better than him. Shut the fuck up. On the other hand, like I was gonna say before I was rudely interrupted by Kevin fucking Falk, that also adds into the stigma of, okay, but that just kind of adds to the fact that this has no reason to exist if you're just gonna get the same people. Or not the same people, just one guy. Why can't you get? Why is James Earl Jones more iconic than Jeremy Irons as Scar? Who, even though we only heard like 2 lines from Chiwetel Ejiofor, Jeremy Irons is much better than already. Or Timon and Pumbaa, Ernie Sabella, and Nathan fucking Lane. Why are they not as iconic as James Earl Jones as Mufasa? You know, obviously Matthew Broderick is not iconic as Simba, but you know those other characters at least. So there's things about it that I want to get excited for, but then that cynical part of my brain's like, hold on, what about this? So I've talked enough about this movie. Fuck it, I don't care. Fuck it. Fuck you, Kevin. Not you, Tony. I love you.
Mwah.
All right, so Lion King, safe to say, we are pretty divided on this one. If you guys are looking forward to it, it does come out on July 19th. I know a lot of people are very much excited for it, and I really do hope it surprises me. But just right now, like I said, I just don't really feel a need for it to exist. Now, however, and that's the only thing coming out on July 19th. There was supposed to be Top Gun Maverick, but that got moved, so there's nothing else coming out on July 19th. So now we're just going to get...
correction, Kevin. It was going to come on July 12th.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it's still weird to me. There's nothing else coming on July 19th. I guess this is a new Avengers Endgame, but we're just going to jump right into July 26th, where we have a film that I am very, very excited to talk about. Look, there's a lot of films coming out this month, and I'm very excited for, but it's very rare that my two most anticipated of the summer come out in the same month, but also the most anticipated of the entire year also comes out on this day. And that, of course, is Quentin Tarantino's highly anticipated Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Seems this world got you down. You're feeling bad vibrations.
Are you an actor?
No, I'm a stuntman. Girl, look at me.
So you still direct, huh? Still here.
You can do anything you want to him.
I hired you to be an actor, Rick, not a TV cowboy. You're better than that.
Line. Cut! Embarrass yourself like that in front of all those goddamn people.
So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I mean, I've gone on about this film a lot. If you've watched Tony's anticipated video or something like that, I have been hyped for this film for a very long time now. And look, it's not just because Quentin Tarantino is my second favorite director of all time, and Leonardo DiCaprio is currently my favorite actor working today, and they're both in this movie. Obviously, that is a big draw for sure, knowing that those two are teaming up again, especially knowing Leo is the lead in this definitely gets me very excited. And then the cast alone, I mean, you got him, you got Brad Pitt, you got Margaret Qualley, you got Margot Robbie, you got, I mean,
You
just
got Dunkachino.
Unfortunately, I mean,
Dunkachino. What's my name?
Trying to make himself after that garbage.
Dunkachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate.
He's trying to make himself after that garbage that he did. You're gonna shut the fuck up. Oh my God. See, this is why Jackson and I'm just gonna wait.
Oh my God.
All right. I'm trying to finish. But yes, you also have Al Pacino. You also have Bruce Dern. You have Kurt Russell. Just a really stellar cast overall. But I also really love the whole premise of this movie. I mean, the 60s for me is the most fascinating period in history. There's so much stuff that went on there, but especially the loss of innocence. That's something that this movie is really going to cover, how this really was about the time when the movie scene was starting to have a significant shift. And especially for the main character, Rick Dalton, it seems like someone who has been this really big actor and things like that and has done these Westerns, and they're just not selling as well because the culture is changing. I think that's a very interesting commentary as well that the film's really going to feed into. The look of this film is just mwah. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. There are so many shots alone that I can already see on like the One Perfect Shot Twitter and things like that, and shots that like I can see on like a poster or something that I want on my wall. Just so many incredible shots in this film. I love the look at it. I love the character designs, costume designs, you name it. It just looks fantastic. I love the 60s score as well. And just in general, I'm excited to see another film from Tarantino. I know this is his second to last film for sure. That, well, allegedly it is his second to last film that he is doing. But I feel like this is definitely going to be one of his best. And then, of course, comes the main issue. Yes, everyone has talked about the Charles Manson stuff. I think he's going to handle it in such a way to what he did in Inglourious Bastards, where he is going to do it where it is sort of revisionist history, but it is more a fictionalized version of what happened. And if it worked in Inglourious Bastards, I think it can work here. So I know a lot of people are worried because of what happened with Sharon Tate, and yes, this movie's probably going to cover that, but I don't think it's going to be as prevalent as an issue as people are really making out to be. Like I said, Tarantino has done it before. I think he will definitely do it again. I'm already hearing rave reviews about this movie. I've heard such incredible things, and the closer we get to it, the more hyped I really am. There's just so much riding on this film. There's so much it can do for me, and I'm just very excited to see how it all turns out. For those those reasons I mentioned and more. So definitely, like I said, not only is my most anticipated of the month, not only my most anticipated of the summer, but it's also my most anticipated of the entire year for those reasons alone. Cannot wait for this film.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is actually my most anticipated film for this entire month. I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino. I like his directing style. I like his writing. I like how he works with actors. I also have a foot fetish like him. Sorry, no, wait, I meant to redact that. Also, I really like Leonardo DiCaprio as an actor. I like Brad Pitt, like Margot Robbie. I like, what's his name? Don Pacino! What's my name? Don Pacino!
No more, no more!
But yeah, I like everyone in the cast. So I feel like this is going to be one of the best acted films of the year, one of the best directed films of the year, one of the best looking movies of the year, one of the best written movies of the year. If Tarantino has a score, if he's just using a soundtrack, it'll probably be one of the best soundtracks of the year. But if he has a score like he did for The Hateful Eight, then it'll probably be one of the best scores of the year. And as far as the as far as the Charles Manson things go, yeah, like Quentin Tarantino has messed with history before, like in the fucking Hateful Eight. So I mean, not the Hateful, Inglourious Bastards, my bad. So I feel like he's going to do that again. So I feel like he will do that again. He'll do something along the lines of it's definitely not going to add, because Rick Dalton's not a real person like Leonardo DiCaprio's character or Cliff Booth. They're not real people, obviously.
Yeah.
So they're already messing with history a bit. So I feel like, you know, he's going to do something that's tasteful, or he'll do something that's really disturbing and dark, but I might appreciate it because I'm a sick, twisted person myself.
Yeah.
But yes, I can't wait for this film. It looks stunning. I can't wait. Every trailer has had me even more hyped for this motion picture. And I just, you know, if this is his second to last one, I can't wait for his 10th one, baby, because he's one of the best directors out there. No matter, even if he does have a raging anger issues, Jesus Christ. But yeah, and he's so quirky.
One more thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to turn to Tony. But
oh my god!
I will say, marketing for this film, like I think, has been absolutely excellent. Every single time I go to the theater, they play a trailer for this movie, which is just fantastic to me. I hope this film does really fucking well. I've heard a lot of people say that this one could possibly be a huge awards contender, and I think the buzz it's getting and things like that, I think it already has that chance for sure. I'm very excited to see how it turns out. I think there's just a lot you can do with it. And also, it is quite sad that Burt Reynolds did, of course, pass away before this film came out, considering that Leo DiCaprio's character is based off of him. But like I said, there's so much writing on it. There's so much I'm excited for. And I guess I'll just go to Tony now since I've gone on long enough.
Damn, Kevin bringing the mood down. Now I'm depressed.
Yeah, you brought up Burt Reynolds, and it is really sad because, you know, this could have been his last movie, but you know, he passed away, what, I think literally a couple of weeks before he was going to go shoot his scenes. So Bruce Dern,
Luke Perry's last film too.
Yeah, and this is Luke Perry's last film too. So I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, his final like on-screen role. Bruce Dern now has Burt Reynolds' role and all that. But yeah, like, you know, so yeah, it's definitely going to be sad for that reason for sure. But like the movie as a whole, I'm very excited. Like I agree. This is my most anticipated of the month and of the summer. Like if you saw the top 5 summer video I did with the guys over on my channel, you know that I put this movie as my number 1 because it's funny.
And that freaked the fuck out.
It's funny. If you look at my top 5, 3 movies from July were in my top 5. Funny enough, it was this movie, Spider-Man, and The Lion King. So July is the month where I'm excited for the most movies, which I find interesting. But yeah, this is definitely my number 1 for sure of the summer, and one of my most anticipated of the year. I can't wait for this. I respect Tarantino so much as a director and a writer. Yes, say what you will about him as a person, but like definitely as a writer and director, there's no question that he's definitely one of the best out there. I love his style of how he directs movies. I love how he writes his screenplays. Like that, no one else can write screenplays quite like how he writes his own, and that's definitely what makes him just feel so unique as a filmmaker and a writer. And you know, you've already commented on it. The cast looks absolutely phenomenal. Like from Leonardo DiCaprio to Brad Pitt, to Kurt Russell, to Dakota Fanning, to Margot Robbie, to Dunkachino, Al Pacino.
He's trying to forget about that, all right? If we keep bringing it up, he can't forget about it. Tony.
But yes, they all look absolutely great, and I love. And from the looks of the marketing, I love how he's capturing the golden age of Hollywood. I love how the setting is, and the marketing has very been on point. Yes, I've kind of covered this in my anticipated video how the whole Marilyn Manson thing is my only slight concern. It's only a
Charles
slight.
Manson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Oh my god!
You said Marilyn Manson.
I was gonna say Marilyn Manson.
Charles Manson.
I am so sorry. I meant to say Charles Manson. Thank you, Jackson, for
I didn't know this movie took place in the 90s.
Oh my god, yes. I apologize, people. Yes, Charles Manson. Yes, that is my only slight concern, but I'm sure Tarantino will figure out something because I haven't seen Glorious Bastards in a long time, but for what I remember being okay with him like rewriting history and all that. So I'm sure he'll figure out something. I just know that even with that in mind, yes, I'm definitely excited for this. This is a movie that I get more and more excited for the more I think about and the more I do watch the trailer. So yeah, Kevin Jackson, I'm there with you. I can't freaking wait. Woo.
All right, so let me cut to me. All right. So, what if you guys are looking forward to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it does come out on July 26th. And let's redeem Al Pacino and forget of that terrible, terrible movie that he did that I will not mention. But so also shut up. Also coming out though on the 26th, we do still have 2 more movies to talk about. And this one, out of all the movies we're talking about, I know Jackson is the most excited to introduce for sure.
Oh yeah, this next film we're talking about is. Oh, what? Did y'all hear that?
Oh no!
I think there's someone at my door. Hold on a second.
Is it Kevin? Is it Kevin's clone?
Is it Trans Jackie?
What are you doing here? No! Kevin!
Oh, we're doing this shit again.
No!
You're not leaving.
Your mom and I can hear you. There are other people in this house. You need to hang up, and our door is open. We can hear you. Hang up now.
Outside.
What? No, you're not. If you go outside, then boy, I'm gonna skin you alive.
Oh shit!
The movie's called Skin. I just wanted to say in Kevin's dad's voice, he's gonna skin Kevin alive. But yeah, it's called Skin.
We don't tolerate stupidity. Got that? Yes,
Do you have one that you regret?
Why, you got one you regret?
What was your first one?
Fred gave it to me. He took me in. I owe him.
I think real family don't make you owe shit.
So you're a family man now. Listen, talk to me, Babs. You know the Vikings ain't gonna like it.
You're better than those racists.
I don't know what to do.
In this business, you've got to stay focused or fall right down the rabbit hole.
What if I take all this stuff off and I'm still a piece of shit?
Anyways, Skin! Sorry, guys. Kevin's dad beat the shit out of me just to yell at Kevin.
Oh,
but
shit.
anyways, oh shit, my power went out. Oh my god. I had to do it to him. But yeah, Skin, I watched this trailer with Kevin because he forced me again once. Yeah, I've said this a million times. It looks dark and it looks interesting. This could be Jamie Bell's best performance. And it's an interesting story about a guy who's raised by a bunch of awful people and basically him trying to set himself apart from that, try to redeem his life pretty much because he was raised by these awful white supremacists or neo-Nazis, pretty much, something like that.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
But when I watched the trailer, I told you, Kevin, like, that looks like something that'll be really dark, really interesting, maybe a good movie, but I don't want to see it. I like it. Like it's almost too current today. It's like it's almost too relevant because that we deal with a lot of terrible people in America already, and now here's a movie highlighting one of those groups really in depth. And it's like, oh god, I really don't want to fucking be near these people at all. Because there's a lot of weirdos in the world, but then there's also a lot of assholes. Then there's a lot of white supremacists. White supremacists are worse than those other two. So it looks like a movie that I'll probably be forced to watch by Kevin. But I'll have a but I'll have like the sickest feeling in my stomach, pretty much. It'll because only watching the trailer, it like kind of there's a weirdo effect on me, like, oh no, like not because anything I was seeing was like poorly filmed or acted, just the subject matter is just a little too much for even me. I prefer dark fiction, not dark non-fiction.
Yeah.
So go fuck yourself, Falk. I'm not watching this film, even though it looks like it could be really good if you want to give it that chance. Fuck you.
Yeah, so
also, I hope your dad skins you alive.
God. Fucking, oh my God.
Keep it in the video, asshole.
I'm not keeping that shit in, but
you better.
All right. So Skin, yeah, no, look, I will say this right now. As much as I tease Jackson, I can totally understand why someone does not want to watch this film because of the dark subject matter. It is definitely very relevant, and it's not something that is, you know, fiction in any sense. There are groups like this that are out there. There are people who are trapped in these groups that are trying to get away, such as Jamie Bell's character. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this character was a real person, and he still is a real person today. So I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it is based on a true story. But I think this film looks highly riveting. That being said, I think this film looks highly riveting. I think there's definitely a lot you can do with this concept for sure. I mean, sure, you don't want to see the brutality of what the white supremacists have done and things like that, but just the idea of someone who has grown up in such a terrible community and them trying to escape from that and them trying to get their life together and hopefully just move on from all of that, I think sounds like a really, really riveting film. I think Jamie Bell is going to kill it here. He's having a hell of a year between this and Rocket Man for sure. I really hope he gives a very strong performance here. Vera Farmiga's in here as well, who is always fantastic. Who else is in here? Bill Camp, Mike Coulter, just a really great cast overall. I think there's definitely a lot of potential here for sure. Of course, the only worry is, yes, in today's climate and things like that, it is a little weird to have a film exclusively about white supremacists. I hope it's handled in a way that is, you know, that doesn't feel like it is trying to exploit them and things like that. It is much more of, you know, it's much more centered on just showing how brutal and awful they are. It's not at all trying to, you know, glorify their actions. I don't think it's going to do that, but that's something when a film like this comes out, you always kind of worry that's going to happen. And I don't think it's going to, but that's something that I am a little bit trepidatious about. But either way, I think this could be something really great. A24, I mean, I've praised them way too much before, but they are on a high, and I just do not see them disappointing with this, as long as it's not DirecTV film, because then I get a little worried, but I don't think it is. So I am, in fact, looking forward to this, even though, admittedly, it is going to be a really, really hard watch for sure. So, yeah.
I have seen like little clips of it, I think on Instagram, but I've never seen like a full-on trailer until, you know, once I had to prepare for this movie preview. And yeah, it looks like a tough watch, like for sure. Like it's one of those movies where you feel like you're there, like in the real life, than you are like actually watching a movie. Like it's one of those movies that's like so real that it just it feels like you're just gonna be very uneasy watching it. That's like where I'm trying to get at. Like it just looks very uneasy to watch, especially like what you guys covered, how it's about white supremacists and what they're gonna really cover when it comes to that. No doubt, it looks very well filmed. Not gonna take that away from it. It looks very well filmed, looks very well directed. Cinematography looks really great. And Jamie Bell looks like he's gonna give one of the strongest performances in his entire career. But yeah, like the movie definitely looks very interesting. Definitely looks like something very interesting to watch. But yeah, at the same time, it is going to be a hard watch. So when that time comes when I probably do watch this movie, I just have to prepare myself like, okay, yeah, I am not in for an easy watch. So yeah, I'll be preparing for myself whenever that time comes.
Yeah, for sure. But if you guys are looking forward to Skin, it does come out on July 26th. Like I said, I can totally understand if someone doesn't want to watch it just because of its subject matter, but I think it's definitely one that I hope is something that is really great. But that still is not the last one we're talking about. We're not going to end things on a complete downer. We have one more film to talk about here that Tony here is going to introduce.
All right. So let's see here. Whew. Damn, I could use more of this after climbing up the mountain.
Oh,
The mountain.
I'm Dr. Fines. I'm about to go out on the road. You know what I could use? Somebody to give me a hand taking photos. See this woman? The woman's in distress. I'm gonna help her. Now we take her picture.
Is that what you did to my mother?
Dear one, the world is waiting for the sunrise.
Where do they go?
Where does who go?
People. After you change them.
All right, so The Mountain, one of those movies that I had no idea about at all until this movie preview, but I'm definitely glad that I'm aware of it now because I do think that from the trailer at least, it looks really great. It looks really well directed. The storyline looks overall very riveting, and the performances, they look really great from Ty Sheridan to Jeff Goldblum, who looks like he's going to give a performance unlike anything he's done his career. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. And it's not one of those movies I have a lot to say, but I'll just say that when I was watching the trailer, I did feel rather transported just watching it. And whenever I have the opportunity to see it, I definitely do want to see it because, oh boy, yeah, looks like one hell of a movie. And yeah, I can't wait to see where the storyline goes.
See, this is one of those cases where there are tons of trailers that I will cycle through prior to this movie preview, and a lot of the time I don't think much of it. This is one of those cases, though, where, like, this came literally out of nowhere for me. I went from a film that I really did not know anything about to one that I am very much anticipating. I think this looks right up my alley. It looks so weird. It looks so out there, but it's something that I am totally behind. The whole relationship between Jeff Goldblum and Ty Sheridan, it looks really riveting, and I am 100% with you, Tony. Jeff Goldblum, I mean, holy shit. This looks like it's going to take every single thing we expect from Jeff Goldblum and go in a completely different direction. I always love it when actors do something that is a bit out of their usual wheelhouse, something that isn't something, and they're not in a role that you usually, assume them to be in. I'm excited to see how Jeff Goldblum is here for sure. The cinematography here looks absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of stuff here that definitely intrigues me. I think there was like a musical number in the trailer. Like, this looks like it's going to get into some really weird territory, but I am definitely down for it for sure. I'm not entirely sure what it's about. I think it's just about this really weird relationship between this doctor and like this like photographer and things like that. So I'm excited to see how that really does turn out. I think there's a lot of potential with this film. It's a film I kind of want to go into not really knowing a lot about. And from the trailer, it didn't really tell me much. So good, because I don't really want to know too much. But like I said, this was a film that I really didn't know too much about, but now I am very excited that I did because it looks really damn good for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. I don't know much about the movie, but that's what I love about it. And that alone is why I want to see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess that's the one word to describe the trailer is quirky. Very similar to Jeff Goldblum himself. Hey, you interrupted me, you fuck. So let me start over. Let me start over. I gotta start over now because you keep interrupting me. Okay. So after watching the trailer, the one word I can use to describe it is quirky. Very similar to Jeff Goldblum himself. He's a very quirky man, for the better, obviously, because he's a lovely person. But I was watching this trailer and it's like the cinematography looks great. There's so many things that happen here visually. Can you stop interrupting me?
I'm just agreeing.
That's it. I got to start over.
Just agreeing.
All right, hold on. I got to start over. After watching the trailer for The Mountain, the one word I can use to describe it is a quirky. very similar to Jeff Goldblum himself. He's a very quirky man, but for the better, because he's a very lovely individual. But yeah, when I was watching this trailer, the cinematography looked great. It seemed like they had a bunch of great things visually that looked interesting. Like Kevin said, like maybe a musical number at one point or something involving music. Can you stop interrupting me? That's it. I got to start over.
I'm with you.
So after watching the trailer for The Mountain, the one thing I can say to describe...
I'm gonna leave the room.
So after watching the trailer for the... Can you stop? Okay. So after watching the trailer for The Mountain, the one word I can use to describe it is quirky, which is very, very alike to what I can use to describe Jeff Goldblum, which is for the better, obviously, because he's a very, very lovely individual. But I was watching this trailer, and the cinematography looks great. Like there's a bunch of art on display, and I'm not just trying to sound pretentious or blah, but like the camera work almost makes everything you're seeing that's obviously like real life almost make it look like it's a part of a portrait almost, which was very weird to see, but lovely. And there's also one moment where, like Kevin said, maybe there's a musical number or something involving music with a bunch of people, but it looks stunning visually. And then there's the story, which I can't really put my finger on where it's going to head, you know, like that, like it seems like it's going to go down a dark, quirky path, or is it? Maybe. I'm not really sure what's going to happen in this movie, which is for the better. I think the trailer was cut to perfection, because it doesn't give much away, but it also leaves you enticed. Like, what's actually going on? Like, there's clearly there must be something going on under the surface, something they're not telling me, which is good. You want that with a lot of trailers. A lot of trailers just give you everything. But yeah, this looks like it looks like it's really holding back on a lot of its info, which is perfect for what a trailer should be. And it looks like a very interesting film. I didn't know what this movie was at all. It wasn't like one of those things where I knew what it was, but I hadn't seen the trailer yet. Like, I did not know this movie existed. I didn't know Jeff Goldblum was in a movie with Ty Sheridan. But after seeing this trailer, I am thoroughly into seeing this movie at some point, whenever that is, if it's July 26th or not, whenever the date is. I can't wait to see it because it looks very interesting and it has my attention.
Hell yeah.
Okay, Kevin, you can come back now, you fat piece of shit.
Oh, okay. I'm
hold on. Okay, Tony's doing something. Let's watch.
Tony is
good move.
Thank you.
All right, so if you guys are looking forward to The Mountain, it does come out on July 26th, so definitely look forward to it then. And with that, guys, we are done here. Those are all of the movies coming out this July. I know it's a little lighter than usual. There's usually a lot more stuff coming out, but a little bit lighter this time around. But I will say, in terms of the movie preview, this was definitely a lot better this time around for sure. This was not nearly the clusterfuck, even though we had, you know, that big gap in between both of these. This was definitely not the clusterfuck that last year was. So I think overall this was very successful. But before we end things, I'm going to get to my two guests here. This one, I don't really know if I want to let him have the luxury of having an outro because he kind of pissed me off throughout this entire thing. But regardless, he was in here, so I guess I'll just be fair and let him have his little thing for him to say.
As much as I make fun of Kevin, and as much as I want to eat Kevin alive, I am really happy to be on another one of these, even though he keeps interrupting me, even though he keeps being an asshole. I'm still really happy.
Even though I'm disagreeing with you.
Did you just interrupt me?
No,
I'm start over. All right, I'm starting over. So thank you, Kevin, for having me on. Even though I do make fun of you a lot, and you make fun of me too. That's kind of our thing because I truly hate you, and you think I'm joking, which is really funny to me. But it was great being on here for like over 3 hours talking about these movies and then waiting 5 days to do another 3 hours, which is amazing. I can't wait to see the 6-hour-long movie preview. I can't wait. And yes, I do say lawn. It's a 6-hour lawn, like you mow the lawn, because that's how Kevin pronounces it. Movie preview. And I'm just so happy to be here. If you want to see more of me for some reason, because I'm much better than Kevin, go to my YouTube channel, Jackson Fulcher. You can follow me on Letterboxd.
All right.
That's all I have to say. Did you just interrupt me? I got to start over.
Oh my God.
That's all I have to say. Go ahead, Tony. Even though, oh wait, no, we can't interrupt Tony. He's doing a game. My bad.
All right. And now, secondly, we have Mr. Candy Crush here.
Yeah, because I'm crushing it. Okay, let me stop to show my beautiful face.
No one wants to see that.
That's racist.
But yes, thank you, Kevin. This was a lot of fun. Despite that little gap. I mean, let's be honest, that was even more fun, to be honest. But yeah.
Oh yeah, my power just goes out.
Oh yeah, don't we all? But yeah, it's always a lot of fun being on here on these movie previews. It gets chaotic sometimes, and it's not something you would normally, and it's not something you would see in any other live stream. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'll say this: all these movie previews give me something, an experience, good or bad. They're quite an experience, and I'm definitely glad I could be part of these. So yeah, thank you for bringing me on, especially for the 3rd year in a row where I get to celebrate my birthday month.
Same.
Well, I will make sure that next July neither of you are on. But yes.
Thank you.
Either way, that is it for this installment of the movie preview. This was definitely a lot of fun for sure, despite having some very, very rude guests, such as Mr. Spotlight here. It was very annoying for sure.
Who's Spotlight? What are you talking about? Are you talking about my profile? It's a marquee.
Oh, well, it's a
That's
spotlight.
it. I'm starting over. Hey guys, welcome to the movie preview. I'm Jackson Fulcher here. I'm the new host. Kevin's gone.
Oh yeah, you're definitely starting over, but yeah, that's definitely how this works. But either way, guys, this was definitely a lot of fun for sure, despite the power outage and things like that. That was completely out of my control. I had no idea what was going on there, but hey, we had our own little end game there, so that was definitely
Kevin, you said you weren't going to mention it, you piece of shit.
So definitely, that was definitely this time. The majority of the people that were on here were people that I wanted to be here, that were supposed to be here for this installment. So that is definitely a huge improvement for sure. Definitely had lots of fun here. But of course, as usual, comment down below. Let me know what movies you guys are looking forward to the most in July. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you guys in my next video, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye. No, this is not how we're ending it. This is not happening. This is not happening. I will not take No. Not happening, Tony. Just fuck.